Midnight to 2 o'clock. Opening scene. Tone. Heartbroken, reflective. SFX. Distant church bells tolling, soft rain against windows. I spent the last 3 weeks drowning in silence. Pause. Silence in this house that used to hold my mother's voice, her humming in the kitchen, the shuffle of her slippers on the hardwood floor. Now, every sound echoes like it's reminding me she's gone. I work at a small law office downtown. Orderly. Predictable. That's who I've always been. The reliable one. Breath. That follows everything in color-coded folders. Make sure the coffee pot is full before the attorneys arrive. Pause. But nothing in that office could prepare me for the kind of paperwork I hold now. SFX, wrestling paper. My mother's death certificate. I kept telling myself the funeral would bring closure, that my sister Nina would show up. Maybe, just maybe, we'd grieve together. She didn't. 2 to 4 o'clock, funeral scene. Tone, aching, cinematic. SFX, muffled voices, funeral organ, chairs scraping on tile. I remember sitting in the front row, clutching a framed photograph of Mom in my lap. She looked younger in that picture, standing in front of her rose bushes, smile soft but a little sad, as if she already knew how the story would end. But I kept turning my head toward the door, waiting for Nina. Every time it creaked open, my stomach tightened. Pause. I thought, maybe that's her. Maybe she finally came home. But it was never her. Just neighbors, old family friends, people who whispered condolences without really knowing what to say. SFX. Footsteps fade. Silence settles. When the service ended, I stood alone at the grave. The grass was damp beneath my heels, the sky low and gray. I whispered goodbye, but what I really wanted to whisper was, why didn't she come, Mom? Why didn't Nina come for you? Pause. 4 to 6 o'clock, the empty house. Tone. Quiet despair. SF front door creaks open. Hollow room ambience. Coming back to the townhouse was worse. Every lamp, every cushion still smelled faintly of her perfume, lavender mixed with laundry soap. I set her framed photo on the mantle. SFX, soft clink. And then I noticed an envelope tucked between her books, yellowed, unsealed, with my sister's name on it. My heart skipped. Pause, sharp inhale. My mother's handwriting. SFX, paper unfolds, faint thunder roll. It wasn't mailed. Maybe she never found the courage. Maybe she hoped she'd deliver it herself. 6 to 8 o'clock, the letter. Tone, trembling, intimate. SFX, gentle paper crackling. Emily reading softly, like aloud to herself. Nina, my firstborn. I know you feel I failed you. I know you believe I chose Emily over you. That was never the truth. I only wanted to protect you from the parts of your father you carried, from the anger and the hurt that followed you. Please, come see me before it's too late. I don't want to leave this world with us divided. Narration resumes. Shaky voice. My throat tightened. I could almost hear Mom's voice in the words, shaky but determined. She wanted reconciliation. She wanted peace. But Nina never came. Pause. She ignored her. She ignored us both. SFX. Rain intensifies, then softens. And I sat there with that letter in my lap, wondering if maybe Mom had always known Nina would never forgive us. 8 to 10 o'clock, Emily's reflection. Tone, brooding, foreshadowing. SFX, ticking clock, faint city traffic outside. The thing is, grief isn't simple. It's not just sadness. It's anger. It's betrayal. It's every fight you ever had replaying in your head. And for me, it was the sound of my mother begging for something she never got. Pause, exhale. I poured myself a cup of stale coffee, sat at the kitchen table, and stared at the legal folders from work I had dumped beside the letter. Ironic, isn't it? I spend my days helping strangers sort out wills and inheritances, and here I am staring down the mess in my own family. Part of me wanted to burn the letter, to erase the guilt. Another part whispered, "Keep it. You'll need it." Because deep down, I felt it, Nina wasn't done with us. She hadn't been here for Mom's funeral, but she'd be here for something else. Pause, and that thought chilled me more than the rain on the window pane. 10 to 12 o'clock. Closing setup plus CTA. Tone, suspenseful, tense. SFX, doorbell chimes suddenly, echoing through empty house. I froze. For a second, I thought maybe... Pause, maybe it was her. I didn't open the door that night, but I knew. The silence before was only the calm before the storm. Emily, resolute, voice tightening. If you've ever had family that could break you more than strangers ever could, you'll understand what's coming. Pause, whisper soft. Backhand? Index. Pointing. Right, make sure you're subscribed, because what happened next will make you question what family really means. SFX, music fades out slowly, leaving ominous silence. The letter was still on the table when it happened. The knock. Heavy. Impatient. Almost angry. I opened the door and froze. At first, I didn't recognize her. Her hair tangled, skin bloated and pale, eyes ringed in shadows. And the smell, cigarette smoke mixed with cheap perfume. It was Nina? My sister? She pushed past me without asking, her shoulder clipping mine. Cute little place you've got him. So, how much you think you'll get for it? Her voice was bitter. Mocking. She didn't come for me. She didn't come for Mom. She came for the house. Flashback. The bedroom divide. Seeing her standing there, claiming space like she owned it, dragged me straight back to being 13. I used to sleep in a cramped corner, made from an old bookshelf and a folding desk. My parents had pushed me into that space because Nina demanded the big bedroom. She said she needed it more. I'm older, I deserve it. Emily can sleep anywhere. I remember lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling of that tiny space, wondering why being younger meant being less. Some things don't change. The confrontation? Nina dropped into Mom's old chair, arms crossed. So, how we splitting it? You buy me out or we sell the place and split 50-50. Don't think I'll just walk away, Em. I've got rights. Her words hit like stones. Rights? Where was she when Mom was calling, begging her to come home? Where was she at the funeral? This isn't your house, Nina. It never was. It was Dad's. He gave it to me. Liar! You cheated me. You always cheated me. I'll sell my half to someone who'll appreciate it. Maybe I'll get some cash out of your precious little nest. Her eyes glimmered with something dark, desperate. And I knew she wasn't bluffing. At work, subplot with Jason. The next morning, I carried my fear into the office. Jason, one of the paralegals, noticed immediately. You look like you haven't slept. What's going on? I hesitated, then told him everything. Nina barging in, demanding her share, threatening to sell. Emily, you need to be careful. Even if she's bluffing, she could try to file a claim. Courts take sibling disputes seriously, especially if there's no clean will. My stomach twisted. I work in law every day, but hearing it from Jason made it real. This wasn't just family drama. This could get legal. Look, I know she's family, but if she comes back, document everything. Every word. Don't let her corner you. For the first time, I realized I might be fighting my own sister in court. Back at the house. That night, I sat at the kitchen table with Mom's letter still open. My coffee went cold as I replayed Nina's threats. I imagined strangers walking through these rooms, touching the photos, peeling away the wallpaper. Selling the house would erase everything Mom and Dad built. And then I heard it, someone moving around. My chest seized. I grabbed the nearest thing, an umbrella, and crept upstairs. It wasn't a burglar. It was Nina. What are you doing here? Checking what I'm owed? Don't play dumb, Em. This is my house, too. Her words burned. My hands shook. It felt like she wasn't just taking the house. She was taking every piece of my past, rewriting it as hers. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw her out. But instead, I whispered, "You're not owed anything. Not anymore." Closing hook. She stormed out, but I knew it wasn't over. The letter. Jason's warning. Nina's threats. It all swirled together into one terrifying truth. My sister wasn't here to grieve. She was here to destroy, and I wasn't sure if I was strong enough to stop her. I didn't know it at the time, but while I was clutching Mom's letter at home, Nina was plotting. She met a lawyer. Not the kind you see on TV, slick suit, polished smile. This one looked tired, greasy, desperate for clients. You say she's waving the deed around? Doesn't matter. Your blood. Courts love a good sob story. File a claim, drag it out. She'll pay just to make you go away. My sister, my own sister, nodding, smiling, entertained by the idea of tearing me apart in court. And while she schemed, I was drowning in memories of Mom, still searching for answers she never gave me. The next day, I stayed late at the law office. Not to finish casework, but to search. Property records, deeds, transfers. And I found them. Dad's signature. Grandma's, too. Both had left the townhouse to me. Legally, airtight. I should have felt triumphant. Instead, my throat tightened. Why do I feel guilty for holding on to something that was always mine? Was Mom trying to tell me something with that letter? Was she asking me to forgive Nina? I closed the file but kept staring at it. Proof of ownership in black and white. And yet, it didn't erase the ache in my chest. What would you do if your own family tried to steal from you? Subscribe if you need to hear how this ends, because the fight only gets uglier from here. A flashback hit me like a wave. Mom's voice on the phone. Fragile. Cracking. Nina, sweetheart, please come. I don't know how much time I have left. I just want to see you just once more. I remember standing in the doorway, watching her beg. The phone pressed to her ear, her hands trembling. And Nina laughed. Actually laughed. Can't, Mom. Headed to the coast with Matt. We'll toast for you, all right? And just like that, she hung up. Mom sat in silence, her chest rising shallow, her lips whispering something I'll never forget. She doesn't hate me, she just doesn't know how to love me. But she did know. She just chose not to. When Nina showed up again, I couldn't hold it in. You ignored her. She begged you to come. She was dying, Nina, and you, what? Took a road trip? Don't you dare throw that in my face. She loved you more in the end, Emily. Always you. Perfect little Emily. I was nothing but the outsider. Her spit hit my cheek as she screamed. My knees almost buckled. For once, she wasn't masking it. She was admitting what she had always felt. She was your mother, too. Not really. Not the way she was yours. Something in the room broke, literally and figuratively. She stormed off, muttering threats about lawyers and getting what's hers. I stood frozen, glass crunching under my slippers. I had proof, legal papers, the law on my side. But against her rage, her resentment, her desperation, would it matter? This wasn't just about a house anymore. This was about blood, about betrayal, about what family's supposed to mean. I sank onto the couch, Mom's letter in one hand, the deed in the other, proof and plea, justice and mercy. 2 pieces of paper, and I didn't know which one would decide my future. And I couldn't shake one thought. If Nina was willing to betray our mother, what would she do to me? Would you fight for what's yours, or walk away for peace? Tell me in the comments. I need to know if I'm the only one torn in half by this. It was late. The house, too quiet. I pulled open the bottom drawer of Mom's desk, half expecting more unpaid bills, yellowed receipts. But instead, I found an envelope. My name, scrawled in my father's handwriting. My heart dropped. Dad's been gone for years. Why was this still here? Emily, if you're reading this, it means I'm gone. And Nina, she'll come for the house. She always felt shortchanged, like life cheated her. But this place is yours. Stand firm. Don't let guilt trick you into surrender. Remember, you're stronger than you think. My hands trembled as I pressed the letter to my chest. He knew. He saw it coming. And somehow, even now, he was still protecting me. The next evening, pounding rattled my doorframe. I opened it, 2 officers, and behind them, Nina, arms crossed, smug, eyes gleaming with triumph. This is fraud. She stole the house from our mother. Check the records, you'll see. Neighbors gathered, faces peeking from doorways. Whispers spreading down the hall like fire. The taste of metallic fear filled my mouth. Humiliation burned hotter than anger. Officers. I have every legal document. This house was never hers. My father and grandmother left it to me. She doesn't own a brick of it. It looks legitimate. This isn't a criminal matter. It's civil. We can't get involved. Nina's face twisted. She's lying. She's always been lying. But the officers were already walking away. Doors shut. Murmurs faded. And there I stood, framed in the doorway, clutching my father's letter like armor, wishing the ground would swallow me whole. Have you ever had someone drag your private pain into the public eye? Subscribe, I'll show you just how far Nina is willing to go. The next day, I met Jason after work. I must have looked like I hadn't slept in days because he didn't ask. He just set a coffee in front of me. You can't keep doing this, Emily. You're giving her power every time you let her pull you back in. She's my sister. Mom wanted peace. She begged me to find a way back to her. Jason leaned forward, his eyes steady. Why do you keep clinging to her wish when Nina only brings destruction? Peace isn't one-sided. Sometimes protecting yourself is the only way to honor those who loved you. His words stung because they were true. I stirred my coffee, watching the cream swirl, wondering if I was honoring Mom or betraying myself. That night, she came again. No police this time, just fury, spilling into my living room like a storm. You think you're better than me? You think a piece of paper makes you more of a daughter? The house is mine too. I'll take it. I'll burn it down before I let you win. This house isn't yours, Nina. And neither am I. You walked away years ago. You don't get to come back just to cash in. The words tore out of me like glass shards. Years of silence, of appeasement, of swallowing pain, exploding in one scream. Nina froze, chest heaving, eyes wide with rage and something else. Loss. Maybe. She shoved past me, nearly toppling a chair. You'll regret this. I swear you will. The house was quiet again, but it didn't feel safe. It felt hollow. I sank onto the couch, clutching both letters, Mom's plea for reconciliation, Dad's warning to stand firm. One urging forgiveness, the other strength. Which do I choose? Which makes me the daughter they raised? I looked down. A shattered frame lay on the floor. A family photo. Mom in the middle. Me on one side, Nina on the other. All smiling, like we believed it would last forever. But families don't always last. Not the way you hope. I'll protect what's mine. Even if it means losing her forever. Would you fight to keep the house or give it up to finally cut ties? Tell me in the comments. And subscribe, because Nina isn't finished yet. The house was quiet again. Too quiet. I sat in the living room, the walls still echoing with Nina's screams. The lamp on the side table cast a warm pool of light, but it couldn't chase away the shadows clinging to every corner. On the coffee table lay 2 letters, Mom's last, pleading for reconciliation, Dad's warning to stand firm. How do you choose between forgiveness and survival? I picked up Mom's letter again. The ink was blurred from my tears. Her words were simple, desperate. Please, Emily, find your sister. Make peace before I go. My throat tightened. I'm sorry, Mom. This is one promise I can't keep. The next morning, I called a locksmith. Watching the old locks come off felt like shedding skin that had grown too tight, too painful. Every click of the drill, every turn of the screwdriver was a small act of defiance, a small act of survival. This house is mine. My sanctuary, my burden, my inheritance, and now my choice. I boxed up family photos, the ones where we pretended to be whole. I couldn't throw them away, but I couldn't keep them on the walls either. Each smile felt like a lie I could no longer live with. Have you ever had to shut the door on someone you loved just to survive? Subscribe. I'll tell you what happened after I closed mine. By evening, Jason came by. He found me on the porch, surrounded by taped up boxes. You moving out or just purging ghost? I smiled, for the first time in weeks. Maybe both. He sat beside me, handing me a paper cup of coffee. His presence was grounding. A tether in this storm. You did what you had to do, Emily. That doesn't make you cruel. It makes you human. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is choose yourself. I looked at him, really looked. For months, he'd been my voice of reason, my anchor. And now, maybe he could be more. We sat in silence. The kind that heals instead of hurts. For the first time, the air around me felt lighter. Before Jason left, I walked back into the house one last time. I placed Dad's letter in the top drawer of the desk. Then Mom's, too. Together, 2 voices pulling me in opposite directions. But the choice, it was mine. I locked the front door, the new bolt sliding smooth, final. I stepped outside, keys heavy in my palm, and handed the spare to Jason. No more ghost! No more games! This house is mine, and my future starts now. We walked down the steps together, but as we reached the street, I felt it, eyes on me. Across the road, half hidden beneath the shadows of a street lamp, a car idled. Behind the windshield, Nina, her face pale, her eyes burning holes through me, one hand gripping the steering wheel, the other clutching a phone. She wasn't finished. She never would be. Jason touched my shoulder, guiding me forward. Let her watch. Let her stew. This time, I'm not the one who's afraid. If your sister came back just to destroy everything, would you still try to save her? Or finally, save yourself? Tell me in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, because Nina's story might not be over.